The night sky over Earth looked calm, too calm. Stars twinkled above, as if nothing was wrong, but deep down, every human who looked up knew something was coming. Rumors spread across the cities. An alien fleet was on its way. Whispers in cafes, quiet talks in subway stations, and urgent reports on hidden military channels repeated the same words. They are close now. In the control room of Earth's Defense Command, screens glowed with red warnings. Officers spoke in quick voices, trying not to show fear. "Their fleet is massive," one said. "Scanners show hundreds of ships, maybe more." An older commander with a scar across his face leaned over the table. His voice was calm but sharp. "Let them think we are weak. Let them think they face only one fleet. They want fear, we will give them silence." Across the galaxy, the alien armada moved closer, their dark ships blocking out the stars like a rising storm. Inside their flagship, the alien commander laughed, his voice cold. "Earth thinks one fleet can stop us. They will fall in days. Their world will burn, and no one will even remember their name." His soldiers hissed in agreement, their claws clicking on the metal floor. Back on Earth, citizens watched the news with worried eyes. Some packed bags and tried to leave the cities, while others gathered in small groups, praying or whispering to one another. A child tugged at his mother's sleeve. "Mama, are the bad ones coming?" She knelt down, forcing a smile. "We are not alone, my love. Trust me, Earth has more than they think." The first alien message came, loud and cruel, echoing through the skies in every language. "Surrender. Your single fleet cannot save you. Your people will serve us." In orbit, Earth's fleet finally appeared, rows of shining ships lined above the blue planet. Soldiers stood ready inside the warships, checking weapons and whispering to each other. One young pilot tried to hide the tremble in his voice. "Do we really stand a chance?" His captain placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "We don't fight to survive, we fight to show them what Earth is." The alien armada moved forward, their weapons glowing with deadly light. The battle began. Explosions lit up the darkness. Alien lasers cut across space, striking human ships. While Earth's fleet answered with fire of its own, the sky burned with colors of war, red and gold streaks slicing through the void. The alien commander smirked. "Pathetic! They send only one fleet. Crush them." But then he paused. Something felt wrong. The human ships did not retreat. They fought with strange precision, as if waiting, as if holding back. In the control center on Earth, the scarred commander whispered into his radio, "Not yet. Let them come closer." Officers exchanged nervous glances. Finally, the commander gave the order. "Now!" Suddenly, the stars shifted. From behind the moon, from hidden stations across the system, new fleets emerged. First one, then two, then more. The alien scanners blinked with confusion. One human fleet became 3, then 5, then 10. On the alien flagship, panic spread. "Impossible!" their commander roared. "Where did these ships come from?" His officers hissed in fear, their confidence breaking. They hid them all this time. Back on Earth's warships, cheers filled the air. The young pilot's eyes widened as he saw the reinforcements. 10 fleets. We have 10. His captain smiled for the first time. Now, the real fight begins. The aliens launched a desperate attack, but it was too late. Earth's hidden fleets closed in from every side. Missiles, beams, and firepower unlike anything seen before rained down on the invaders. Alien ships exploded one after another, their screams echoing through comms as fear replaced their pride. In the middle of the chaos, the alien commander shouted, "Retreat! Retreat now!" His once proud voice shook. The soldiers who had mocked Earth now begged to escape. Earth's fleets surrounded them, cutting off every path. The scarred commander's voice rang across the comms. "You came here thinking we were weak. You thought we had one fleet, but you forgot one truth. Humans never stand alone." The battle ended with silence. Alien wrecks floated in space, broken and burning. The survivors fled, carrying the story of Earth's strength back into the galaxy. On the ground, people poured into the streets, looking up at the skies filled with the glow of victory. The child tugged his mother's hand again. "Mama, they're gone." She hugged him tightly, her eyes wet with relief. "Yes, and now they will never forget us." In the control room, the scarred commander stood quietly, watching the stars. An officer approached. "Sir, what will the galaxy think now?" The commander gave a small, tired smile. "They feared one fleet, but tonight they saw 10, and tomorrow they will fear the name Earth itself." The smoke of battle still floated in the cold emptiness of space. Broken alien ships drifted like dead shadows, while Earth's fleet stood strong, their guns still glowing with heat. On the surface, cities celebrated, fireworks mixing with the silent glow of wreckage above. Yet inside the command center, there was no celebration, only silence. The scarred commander's eyes stayed fixed on the screen. One officer asked carefully, "Sir, we won. Why do you still look worried?" The commander did not answer at first. He tapped a finger on the table, his scar twitching. Because this was only the beginning. The room fell quiet. Everyone had seen how powerful the alien fleet had been. If that was only the beginning, what else waited out there? Meanwhile, far from Earth, deep inside alien territory, messages raced between their worlds. The retreating survivors carried a single warning. Earth has 10 fleets. They were hiding. Humanity is not weak. Alien leaders hissed and shouted in rage. In a grand chamber of their empire, the alien High Council argued. One slammed his claw against the table. "We cannot allow this. If Earth has 10 fleets, what else are they hiding?" Another snarled. "They have tricked us. We must strike. Again, harder, faster, before the rest of the galaxy joins them." The alien commander who had lost the battle stood before them, his pride broken. "They fooled me. I saw one fleet, but then 10 came. I do not know what more they have." The council leader leaned forward, his eyes glowing red. "Then we will test them again. If they could hide 10 fleets, maybe they can hide 20. We must find their weakness. They cannot be allowed to rise." Back on Earth, the people were filled with new courage. Markets buzzed with life, children pointed at the sky, and songs of victory filled the streets. Yet inside the military stations, the tone was very different. The fleets that had fought were damaged, many soldiers lost. Repairs began, but time felt short. A young pilot sat in the hangar, wiping the blood off his helmet. His friend walked over, whispering, "You fought well today." The pilot looked down, his eyes tired. "Did I? I saw too many friends not return. We celebrated too soon. If they come back—" His voice broke. The friend placed a hand on his shoulder. "We cannot fear tomorrow. We must be ready." At the same time, secret messages spread through hidden channels. Other human colonies, once silent, now reached out. "We heard what happened," one message said. "If Earth can stand, maybe we can too." The commander listened to each message, his face unreadable. He finally said, "Tell them, stand ready. The enemy will not stop. They will return." And return they did. Only weeks later, while the Earth fleet was still repairing, scanners lit up again. This time the readings were larger, darker, stronger. A new armada appeared at the edge of the system, far bigger than before. Fear spread quickly. People who had once cheered now whispered in terror. "If 10 fleets fought last time, will 10 be enough this time?" The control room filled with urgent voices. "They are bringing war engines we have not seen before." Another officer gasped. "Look! Those ships, they are bigger than cities." The scarred commander stood slowly. "So this is their answer." His voice dropped into a growl. "Then this will be ours." In the hangars, soldiers ran to their ships. Engines roared and weapons were loaded. The young pilot climbed into his fighter, his hands shaking but his eyes sharper than before. His captain's voice came through the comms. "This time, we do not just fight to defend Earth. We fight to show them the galaxy belongs to no empire." The alien armada moved forward, their ships blotting out entire constellations. Their commander sneered. "Show me their 10 fleets. Let us crush them all at once." At first, Earth's fleets rose again, damaged but determined. They formed lines across the stars, shining like a wall of fire. The aliens charged, weapons, screaming. Explosions shook the void as the battle began again. The alien war engines pushed hard, breaking through the first human lines. "They are too strong," one pilot shouted in panic. But then something happened the aliens did not expect. Hidden ships, smaller and faster, shot out from behind asteroids and moons. They carried strange new weapons, built secretly while the first battle had been fought. "Fire," the commander ordered, and the hidden squadrons unleashed their power. Beams of pure energy sliced through the alien war engines, tearing apart ships thought to be unbreakable. The alien commander's eyes widened in disbelief. They had more? Again? In the middle of the chaos, the young pilot's fighter sped through enemy lines, his heart pounding, his comms filled with cries, orders, and explosions. He locked onto a massive alien cruiser, whispered, "For Earth," and fired. The blast cut through the giant ship, and the pilot's scream of triumph echoed across the channel. The aliens began to falter. Their massive ships, once symbols of power, now burned and broke. Human fleets pressed from every side, relentless, fearless, united. Finally, the alien commander shouted, "Fall back! Retreat again!" His voice cracked. With fear, his soldiers looked at him with disbelief. The great empire running twice. Back on Earth, the scarred commander heard the retreat call. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Run, then. But know this. Every time you come, you will find more than you expected." The people of Earth, once afraid, now stood taller. Children pointed at the stars, not with fear, but with pride. The young pilot returned to the hangar, stepping out of his smoking fighter. His friend rushed to him, grinning. "You did it. We all did." The pilot looked up at the sky, his face calm but firm. "They will come again, but now they know the truth. We are not weak. We never were." And in the far galaxy, alien leaders sat in silence, their claws tapping nervously. The question they once mocked now haunted them. If Earth had 10 fleets and then more, how many could they truly unleash? The galaxy was no longer the same. News of Earth's victories spread like fire through hidden channels and secret trade. Routes across distant worlds, small colonies whispered about the humans who stood against an empire. Some laughed nervously, not believing. Others, living under alien rule, whispered with hope. For the first time in centuries, the great empire had been pushed back, but victory brought no rest. Inside Earth's command center, tension grew heavier. Each day, the scarred commander stood before a wall of glowing maps, showing countless stars, each one a possible battlefield. His voice was low as he spoke to his officers. "We won twice. That means they will not stop. They will return with something worse." An officer shifted uneasily. "Sir, our fleets are tired. Repairs continue, but morale is stretched. How much longer can we keep this up?" The commander's scar tightened as he stared at the map. "As long as we must. We are no longer fighting for Earth alone. The galaxy is watching us now." Meanwhile, far across space, the alien High Council gathered in fury. Their chamber was lit with red flames, shadows dancing on the walls as their leaders argued. One slammed his claw down. "2 defeats! Our soldiers whisper like frightened children. If Earth can resist, others will rise," another hissed back. "Then we crush Earth completely. No retreat, no survivors. Send the ancient weapons." The chamber fell silent at those words. The ancient weapons were more than ships. They were relics of destruction, machines so powerful even the Empire feared using them. The council leader, finally spoke. Unleash them. Show Earth the weight of our wrath. If they survive this, then perhaps they are more dangerous than we thought. Back on Earth, the young pilot sat alone in the hangar, his helmet resting beside him. He stared at the floor, remembering the faces of those who never came back. His friend walked over, trying to break the silence. "You don't talk much anymore." The pilot's voice was heavy. "I hear them. Every time I close my eyes, I hear them screaming, and I know it's not over. They'll come again." His friend sat down beside him. "Then we fight again. Not for medals, not for glory, but because if we stop, no one else will rise. We are the wall." Before the pilot could answer, alarms blared through the hangar. Red lights flashed and a voice shouted over the comms, "Incoming signatures, multiple, massive, unknown energy levels detected." The scarred commander rushed into the control room, his eyes narrowing as he read the scans. The officers were pale. "Sir, these are not normal ships," one officer whispered. "They're the ancient weapons. I've heard of them, but I thought they were myths." The commander's jaw tightened. "They are no myth. They are here." Out in space, shapes emerged from the void, colossal machines of war, glowing with dark energy. They were larger than fleets, their bodies made of black steel twisted like living creatures. Each moved slowly but with terrifying weight, as if the stars themselves bent around them. The alien commander's voice filled every channel, cruel and confident. "Earth, you fought well, but playtime is over. Face the weapons that end civilizations." Fear rippled through the human fleets. The young pilot's voice cracked as he saw the massive forms. "How do we even fight that?" The scarred commander's voice came across the comms, calm but iron-hard. "Listen to me, they want fear. Do not give it. Every weapon has a weakness. We find it, or we die trying." The battle began with a thunder that shook the void. The ancient weapons fired beams that cut through entire squadrons at once. Human. Ships exploded in flashes of light, their pieces scattering across the darkness. In the chaos, the young pilot's fighter dodged through the storm, his hands trembling. His friend's voice shouted in his ear, "We can't match them head-on. There must be another way." The pilot gritted his teeth, scanning the giant weapon ahead of him. Then he saw it. A flicker, a crack in the dark armor where energy pulsed. Too bright. "There!" he shouted. "Aim for the cores. They're hidden, but they're there." Word spread quickly through the comms. Squadrons began targeting the weak points, diving through fire and shadow. Ships burned, pilots screamed. But one by one, the ancient weapons began to falter. The alien commander snarled, his confidence cracking. "Impossible! No one should be able to pierce them." The scarred commander gave the order. "Press the attack. Do not stop until they fall." The young pilot locked onto the glowing core of one massive weapon. His ship shook violently as enemy fire tore past him, but he held steady. His friend's voice came through again, desperate. "You won't make it." The pilot whispered back, "I have to." He fired, his blast striking the core. The giant weapon screamed, its body tearing apart as explosions ripped through its frame. The shockwave threw his fighter spinning, alarms screaming, but he steadied it just in time. One by one, the ancient weapons fell, exploding into burning wreckage that lit the skies brighter than any star. Silence followed. The surviving alien ships fled again, leaving only ruin behind. In the control room, officers cheered, but the commander did not smile. He spoke quietly, almost to himself. "They sent their oldest weapons, and still we stood. But they will not stop. They will keep sending more until either we fall or they do." On the hangar floor, the young pilot climbed out of his smoking fighter. His friend rushed to him, laughing and crying at the same time. "You're alive! You actually did it!" The pilot gave a weak smile, his voice hoarse. "Alive! For now, but you heard him. They won't stop." His friend squeezed his shoulder. "Then neither will we." Far away, in the Empire's council chamber, silence hung like a blade. The leaders who once mocked Earth now stared at each other with dread. The council leader's voice was quiet, but filled with fear. Twice they defeated our fleets. Now they have destroyed the ancient weapons. If Earth continues to rise, who will be left to stop them? The galaxy no longer whispered about Earth. It shouted. From mining colonies on broken moons to hidden trade stations deep in the void, everyone spoke of the humans who had crushed fleets and destroyed the ancient weapons of the Empire. Some spoke with hope, others with fear, but all agreed on one thing. Earth had changed the balance. Inside Earth's command chamber, the scarred commander stood in front of a glowing map of the stars. His voice was calm but heavy. We cannot wait for them to strike again. If we only defend, they will keep sending bigger storms. It is time we take the fight to them. The room fell silent. An officer finally asked, "Sir, do you mean to invade their space?" The commander's scar twitched as he nodded. "Yes, we go into the lion's den." The young pilot sat in the hangar listening to the news. His heart pounded, torn between pride and fear. His friend slapped him on the back. "You hear that? We're not waiting anymore. This time they'll know what it feels like to be hunted." The pilot frowned. "And what if it's a trap? What if they want us to come?" His friend grinned, though his eyes betrayed nerves. "Then we walk right into it. Better to fight on their ground than wait for them to come burn ours." Far across the galaxy, in the Empire's Grand Council Hall, the alien leaders hissed and growled at one another. Their claws scratched the stone table as anger filled the air. One shouted, "We cannot let humans step into our space. If they win there, our subjects will rise against us." Another snarled, "Then we prepare. Let them come. We will draw them deeper into the heart of the Empire, where their fleets will be swallowed whole." The council leader's eyes glowed dark red as he leaned forward. "Yes, let them come. Their courage will become their coffin." Days later, 10 human fleets moved into alien space. The stars looked strange, colder, as if even the void itself warned them to turn back. The young pilot sat in his cockpit, staring at the endless black. His captain's voice came through the comms. "Stay sharp. This is not our home. Every shadow may hide a knife." As they pushed forward, ruined colonies and broken satellites drifted by. The Empire had stripped its own borders bare, pulling everything into its core. It felt too quiet, too empty. The scarred commander watched from the flagship, his instincts burning. "They are leading us in," he muttered. "But we will not play their game. Change course. Strike where they are weakest." His officers looked at him in shock. "Sir, that would mean leaving their main worlds untouched." The commander's eyes narrowed. "Not untouched, unready. If we break their supply lines, their fleets will starve." So the humans turned. Instead of heading straight into the Empire's core, they struck at its arteries. Fuel stations, weapon factories, and hidden bases, all targets fell one by one. Human fleets moved fast, hitting and vanishing like wolves among sheep. In one raid, the young pilot and his squadron flew low over an alien shipyard. Towers of steel rose like claws, glowing with fresh weapons. "Targets locked," his captain said. The pilot whispered, "For Earth." They fired together, and the shipyard erupted in fire, explosions tearing through half-built warships. Alien workers screamed as the factory collapsed in flames. From his command chair, the alien fleetmaster slammed his claws down. "They are not coming to us. They are tearing us apart from the edges." Another alien officer growled, "We cannot chase them everywhere. They move too fast." The fleetmaster's eyes narrowed. "Then trap them, send false signals. Lead them into one place, then strike." The trap was set days later. The humans intercepted a message of a vulnerable outpost filled with alien commanders. It looked too tempting. The scarred commander studied the message in silence. "It feels wrong, but if it's true, we can cripple them in one blow." The young pilot heard the orders and felt a chill run down his spine. His friend grinned nervously. Big prize, huh? Imagine ending this war in one strike, the pilot whispered. Or imagine flying straight into a death cage. The fleets advanced. As they entered the system, silence greeted them. No ships, no defenses, only an outpost glowing faintly. Then suddenly the stars themselves lit up. From every side, alien warships uncloaked, massive in number. 1,000 ships, maybe more. Panic filled the comms. "It's a trap!" The scarred commander's voice cut through like steel. "Do not scatter, hold the line. They want us broken, we show them unity." The battle exploded with chaos. Alien ships poured fire from every direction, pressing hard. Human fleets fought back, but they were surrounded. The young pilot's ship shook as fire streaked past him. "We can't hold this forever," he shouted. His captain barked back. "Then make them bleed for every breath." Explosions tore through both sides. Wreckage drifted like burning skeletons across the dark. Just when hope seemed lost, the scarred commander gave an order that shocked everyone. "Detach Fleets 7 and 9. Push them through the weakest line. Break the circle," an officer gasped. "That will leave us exposed." The commander's eyes burned. "It will leave them open. Trust me." Fleet 7 and 9 surged forward, smashing into one side of the alien trap. Ships burned, soldiers screamed, but the line cracked. Through the chaos, the human fleets broke free, regrouping on the other side. The alien fleet master roared in fury. "They escaped again!" Back on Earth's flagship, the scarred commander leaned forward. His voice was low but unshaken. "They thought we would panic. They thought we would crumble. But Earth does not break." The young pilot, his fighter scarred with burns, whispered to himself as he floated in silence after the battle. If this was their trap, what will they try next? Far in the Empire's chamber, the council sat in silence, claws twitching nervously. The leader finally spoke, his voice sharp with fear. "We set the trap, and still they escaped. If they can fight inside our own space, perhaps they are no longer just defenders. Perhaps they are conquerors." The Empire's trap had failed, but the scars of battle still burned. Human fleets drifted in silence, many ships broken, many soldiers gone. Repairs began, but fear whispered through the halls of the flagship. The scarred commander stood at the center of the control room, his eyes hard. "We survived, but survival is not victory. They will strike again, and this time we must not stand alone." An officer hesitated before speaking. "Sir, who would stand with us? The galaxy fears the Empire." The commander's scar twitched as he answered. "Fear is cracking. Every time we fight, others watch. Some are waiting for someone to lead. We will be that someone." Across distant stars, those whispers had already begun. On a mining moon, workers huddled in secret tunnels, listening to stolen transmissions. A miner with broken hands whispered, "The humans escaped the trap. They fought inside the Empire itself." Another replied, his voice trembling with hope, "If they can fight, maybe we can too. Maybe we are not slaves forever." In hidden marketplaces, smugglers traded stories instead of goods. "Earth unleashed 10 fleets," one said. "They struck the Empire's shipyards." Another leaned close. "I heard more. Other worlds are sending messages to Earth." Quiet. Messages. They want to join. Back on Earth's flagship, one such message arrived. The officer read it aloud. "From the planet Karun. They were enslaved 50 years ago. They say their people are ready to rise if we give them support." The young pilot sat nearby, listening. His voice was cautious. "Allies sound good, but what if it's a trick? What if the Empire is using them to draw us in again?" His friend leaned forward, smiling. "And what if it's real? What if we finally stop fighting alone?" The commander made the choice. "We answer. Send a fleet to Koran. If they want to rise, we will give them fire." The journey to Koran was tense as the human fleets approached. They saw the planet covered in chains of steel. Orbiting stations glowed with alien defenses, weapons pointed. At the ground, to keep its people silent, the commander's voice cut through the comms. This is no rescue. This is war. Break their chains. The battle began with fire. Human warships struck the orbital stations, blasting apart the empires. Grip. The aliens fought hard, but their attention was split. The people of Corran were already rising. From the surface, explosions shook the cities as rebels struck the occupiers. The young pilot flew low over the planet, watching the fires below. His voice shook. They're fighting with sticks and stolen rifles against armored beasts. But they don't stop, his friend whispered, because they finally believe they can win. As the fleets clashed above, a desperate alien commander screamed across the channel. You fools! You think saving one planet will break us? We will burn Corran to ashes before we let it go free. But before he could give the order, human squadrons smashed his flagship apart. The sky lit with fire, and the people below roared. With victory, for the first time in decades, Corran was free. When the dust settled, leaders of Corran met the scarred commander on the surface. One knelt before him, scars on his arms from years of chains. You gave us hope. We thought no one would ever stand against them. Now we will stand with you. The commander reached down, pulling the man to his feet. Stand beside us, not behind us. This war is not Earth's war anymore. It is the galaxy's. Word spread quickly. One by one, more worlds began sending messages. Small colonies, broken planets, even smugglers and mercenaries offered aid. A new alliance was forming, not built on fear, but on shared anger, on the dream of freedom. The young pilot walked through the hangar, watching new ships painted, with strange symbols join Earth's fleets. His friend grinned, pointing, "Look at that. Corran's people brought their own fighters, old rusty, but they're here." The pilot gave a faint smile. Rusty or not, they chose to fight. That makes them stronger than most. But as joy spread, so did danger. Deep in the Empire's chamber, claws scraped stone as their leader hissed in rage. This is worse than we feared. Earth is not just surviving, they are uniting the broken. If we allow this to grow, the Empire will fracture. Another council member growled, "Then we must crush their new allies. Strike where they are weakest. Make the galaxy see Earth cannot protect them." The leader's eyes glowed with cold fury. "Yes, kill their hope. If Corran has risen, then we will burn Corran." The attack came faster than expected. Days after liberation, massive alien fleets returned, pouring into the system with one goal: destroy Corran before it could stand. Alarms blared across human ships. The young pilot rushed into his fighter, shouting, "They're here already! They want to erase everything we just built!" The scarred commander's voice thundered across the comms. "Then we hold this world, or we lose the galaxy." The battle was worse than any before. Human fleets fought side by side with Corran's rusty fighters, rebels screaming over comms as they rose from the ground. Explosions lit the skies, and for every human ship lost, a Corran vessel dived in to take its place. The alien commander of the attacking fleet snarled. "They think they can resist? Break them, burn everything." But the alliance held. The young pilot, weaving through fire, shouted, "We're not alone anymore, they fight with us." His squadron dove together, blasting apart an alien cruiser. Hours later, the Empire's fleet began to falter. Too many losses, too much resistance. At last, they retreated again, leaving Corran still free. On the surface, the scarred commander stood among the cheering people. His voice was steady but heavy. "Today, you fought with us. Today, you proved the galaxy can rise. The Empire will return, but when they do, they will not face one world. They will face many." The young pilot landed, exhausted, his friend running to him. "We did it. Not just Earth this time, all of us." The pilot looked up at the sky, where human and Corran ships floated together. For the first time, he felt something stronger than fear. Maybe this is only the beginning. The galaxy was burning with change. Word of Corran's freedom spread like lightning, and more worlds began to whisper their defiance. Smugglers carried news across borders, rebels raised hidden flags, and old colonies that had long been silent began to send messages of hope. But hope was dangerous, and the Empire knew it. Inside their dark council chamber, the alien leaders gathered, their claws scratching the stone table. The council leaders' eyes glowed with fury. This cannot go on. Earth has infected the galaxy with courage. If we do not end them now, we lose everything. Another leader hissed. We tried fleets. We tried the ancient weapons. We tried traps. Nothing works. What remains? The leader's voice dropped low, almost a growl. Everything. We send everything. One last storm. Burn Earth. Burn their allies. Burn their hope. And so the Empire gathered its strength. From every corner of its territory came ships, weapons, soldiers, more than anyone had ever seen. The largest fleet in history was born, a black tide stretching across the stars. On Earth's flagship, the scarred commander studied the reports. His officers were pale, their voices hushed. "Sir, if this is true, the Empire is bringing every ship they own. We cannot match that." The commander's scar tightened as he stared at the glowing map. "We do not match them. We break them. This is their last throw. If we stand, they fall." The young pilot sat in the hangar, staring at his fighter. His friend walked over, trying to sound brave. "So, this is it. The big one. The last storm." The pilot nodded slowly. "I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of failing. If we fall, the galaxy falls with us." His friend grinned, though his hands shook. "Then we don't fall. Simple as that." When the Empire arrived, the stars disappeared. Their fleet was so vast, it looked like a living wall stretching from horizon to horizon. The alien commander's voice thundered across the comms. "Humans, you have caused enough chaos. Today, your fire is extinguished. Today, your world ends." The scarred commander answered with steel in his voice. "Today, the galaxy watches, and today, it sees the Empire break." The battle began with fury. Alien warships surged forward, their weapons blazing. Human fleets met them head-on, joined by Corran's fighters and other small rebel ships from across the stars. The void shook. With explosions, wreckage drifting like broken bones, the young pilot's squadron dove into the storm, weaving through fire. His captain shouted, "Stay close! Hit their wings!" The pilot locked onto a massive cruiser and fired, watching it explode into flames. But the victory was small. The Empire had thousands more. On the ground of Corran, rebels fought invading forces in the streets. In hidden colonies, uprisings erupted at once, striking the Empire from inside. The war was no longer just Earth's fight, it was everyone's. Still, the tide was brutal. Alien ships pressed harder, their sheer numbers overwhelming. An officer on Earth's flagship cried out, "Sir, we can't hold much longer." The commander's eyes burned as he whispered, "Then we show them what they never expected." He turned to his officers. "Activate Project Eclipse." The room froze. "But sir, that's not ready." "It is ready enough," the commander growled. "Do it." Across the battlefield, hidden human stations powered up. Strange energy surged, bending light itself. Suddenly, massive beams tore through the darkness, cutting alien fleets apart in seconds. Entire wings of ships disintegrated under the blast. The alien commander roared in disbelief. "Impossible! What have they built?" The scarred commander's voice echoed across every channel. "You wanted everything, so did we. This is humanity's everything." Hope spread like fire. Corran's fighters pushed harder. Rebels screamed with new courage. The galaxy's forgotten rose from their knees. The young pilot flew through the chaos, dodging fire, his voice raw. "We can win this. We just have to hold on." His friend's laughter crackled over comms. "For Earth, for Corran, for everyone." But The Empire would not fall quietly. Their flagship, larger than mountains, advanced, its weapons glowing like suns. It fired a beam so strong it shattered entire human squadrons at once. The scarred commander's voice came calm but sharp. "All fleets, focus fire, bring it down!" The young pilot squadron dove straight at the flagship, weaving through storms of fire. The pilot locked onto its core, his fighter shaking violently. His friend shouted, "You'll never make it," the pilot whispered. "Watch me." He fired everything he had, missiles, beams, torpedoes, all slammed into the core. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the flagship erupted, fire ripping through its body, breaking it into burning fragments. The Empire's fleet faltered. Without their flagship, without their command, panic spread. One by one, ships broke formation, fleeing into the void. Silence followed, broken only by the cheers of survivors. The Empire's great storm had failed. On the flagship, officers wept, hugging each other. The scarred commander stood tall, his voice carrying through every channel. Today, Earth did not stand alone. Today, the galaxy stood together. And today, the Empire is no more. The young pilot landed his fighter, climbing out shakily. His friend ran to him, laughing and crying at once. "You did it! You actually did it!" The pilot looked up at the sky where wreckage drifted and rebel ships flew beside human fleets. His voice was soft but strong. "No, we did it. All of us. Together." Far away, across countless stars, the story spread. Slaves whispered it in dark mines. Rebels shouted it in the streets. Children pointed at the skies with pride. The Empire had been broken, not by one world, but by many. And at the heart of it all was Earth, the world they once thought weak. The galaxy would never forget.